Hey guys, it's Super19, and a couple of days ago I uploaded a video on how I made this Cyberdeck handheld Cyberdeck I called Revolt in Blender, and it's more of an overview than anything, and I was just kind of giving tips and everything. And one of the tips I gave was that you should get all your components first before you start designing, and I made a mistake, as you see later in the video, that I actually designed my thing first, which is, the fun part of it. I just rushed to the fun part without doing the harder part, which is getting the components and trying to really nitpicking the measuring and everything, which I try to be nitpicking about it, but again, I rushed it, as you'll see the consequence I suffer later in that video, or the video you're watching right now. And that video got like 10 views. It's whatever. I've known YouTube for 10 years, never gotten lucky. But anyhow, so you can see in there's an ESP32 and a joystick, just very simple wiring. There's a lot of different wiring you can do, and it's running a firmware called NRF Box by Cyberdeck. And really cool firmwares this guy has, and you should check out the firmwares he has. Anyhow, you can run a lot of different firmwares. You can even make your own if you know how to code C++. It's just through the Arduino IDE. So the problem with the battery bank, it's obviously not fitting. The battery bank itself is fitting, but the USB is so big that it's just not fitting in there. And I was trying to figure out a way how to do this without printing anything. Because I don't want to waste filaments, and that's a big problem. It's like whenever you're designing these things, you're wasting a lot of filament, and because you're testing all the time. And again, it really upsetted me that I tried to fit this and it wouldn't fit. And again, one of the only ways you can really mitigate this is if you make that very back plate. Again, I don't know if you can see it, but it's screwed in the very back plate with the side dashes or the angled cutouts. You make it thicker, and then you can put the power bank, whatever you call it, in there. Or, another mitigation is you can get a smaller battery bank, but again, that's just another problem you have to deal with. And yeah, I tried to fit it, and that was actually me. That was just me recording for like 20 minutes trying to fit it. I was like, wait, this is not really helping anybody, so I had to pause the recording and think of another way. And I eventually genuinely gave up, and I was like, whatever. I'm sure people just want to see that Cyberdeck, and battery bank is really not a big deal, or battery power, or whatever you call it. And so I put it to the side, and I was like, all right, I'll just put everything back together and just show you the actual Cyberdeck. Again, I can always worry about the battery bank later, and I can always change things around, and it's not a big deal. This is just, again, it's a DIY. You know what I mean? You don't have to nitpick everything. This is for you more than anything. Unless you're like going to be selling this or putting this for free on GitHub or whatever, it's not a big deal if everything isn't working out or if it's not perfect. Again, I try not to nitpick things, even though I really do. But then again, it's just like, what are you going to do, right? I mean, I don't have, every single dollar in the world to figure this out or whatever. I only have a small budget, and I'm like, all right, I'll use that budget to make something cool, which is the Cyberdeck. And again, it's using a LCD screen. I didn't mention that, an OLED, and then a keyboard. A lot of the stuff you can find on Amazon. I was just really happy that the stuff I got just really truly came together, and I was kind of blown away how nice this keyboard is. It's a really nice keyboard, and you can find it. You can just find it by looking at it. It's one of the most popular ones. And yeah, this is me trying to assemble it together. Again, just screwing it back is not the best, and I think that's more of a design flaw on my part. And I mean, it screws okay, but then there's some gaps, and it's not a big deal. You don't need to nitpick all this stuff. It's a Cyberdeck, it's a DIY. You're probably gonna just make it and then show people, and then that's it. And again, you see the white stuff on the, okay, that sounds bad, but this is actually glue marks. I tried to glue some things, and I glued the Velcro you see there for the pen. But the problem with that is just like, usually me struggling pressing the button because it's deep in there. But yeah, no, this, man, I'm jumping all over the place, but, you can see the NRF box and then the LCD screen and whatnot. Where was I? Oh yeah, the white stuff on there. Okay, that sounds bad still, but I don't know how to clean it. It's just when glue doesn't glue well, and I used isopropyl alcohol to kind of wipe it away and made that white spot. So I'm not sure how to get rid of it. It's not a big deal. I'm sure there's ways to do it. But I don't know why, but in this process, my battery bank actually broke, so I couldn't even boot into the OS, into the Raspberry Pi, because it kept just failing. And, I thought this lighting would look really cool, but it just backfired on me, and now it looks like a film from the 90s. And I forgot that I don't have professional camera gear, which I obviously don't. But what can you do? So I installed different tools, BTOP, Fast Fetch, just to kind of see how the Cyberdeck looks like from the inside, and also to show you. Again, it's very small. That's because it's GPIO based display, and you're probably better off buying an HDMI based display. You might have to, obviously mitigate around, some room, because I think those are a little bigger in terms of inputs and outputs. I don't know. But you can see the latency is really slow on this one, and again, it's just enough to get you going in terms of terminal and just basic other stuff, you know, network monitoring and everything. Again, the purpose for this was obviously pen testing for educational purposes, and it's mostly terminal-based stuff and maybe web GUI-based stuff. And other than that, I don't really need anything. I'm not gonna play games on it. I mean, I tried playing Doom on there, and it was like maybe 5 FPS. It was really terrible, but you know, the purpose really matters when it comes to your Cyberdeck, like gaming, pen testing. Just a little fun YouTube watching video tool or whatever. It really depends on what you want. So again, this works perfectly. And I found this little cool tool is called X input calibration, and it lets you calibrate your display a little more accurately. I haven't figured out how to save it permanently, even though it tells you how to do it, and I tried it and it just made my calibration even worse, so I wasn't sure. But anyways, the battery kept dying on me because I didn't get a new one. I don't want to do e-waste, and I just decided to go with it because it's good enough. It lasts for like 30 minutes. And I also added this Ethernet because I thought it looked kind of cool, and just again fills that Cyberdeck kind of theme in general, and you know, just wires coming at it. Again, I want to add a switch and maybe some other various things, but they're very minor in general. Also, I want to make the very last part, as I mentioned, a little bigger. And yeah, as always, I hope you learned something. Thank you for watching.